There is a lot going on today at Barcelona. I'm Andres Cordero. Welcome into a fresh new edition of Sports Burst. And joining me to talk about all of the goings on in the Catalan capital is Jamie Easton. Jamie, it's good to talk to you. There is a lot to talk about because we know that currently Barcelona don't have either a manager or a sporting director, with Eric Abidal following Setien out of the exit. That's been confirmed by the club. And Ronald Koeman is in Barcelona today, I understand. Officially will be presented as early as today. Is that your indication?
Yeah, he's expected to be presented in the next minutes or the next hours. We never know here in Barcelona when the official statements will take place. But Ronald Koeman is in the Catalan capital after Barcelona's CEO, Oscar Grau, went yesterday to the Netherlands to just agree with the Dutch National Federation, the Football Federation, the terms to let Ronald Koeman become new Barcelona's manager. Some reports in Barcelona are even saying, according to La Vanguardia, a newspaper based in Barcelona, that the Catalan club could even pay between 4 and 5 million euro to the Dutch Football Federation. We'll see how expensive has Koeman been, but everybody here in Barcelona agrees that he can be a good solution because of his profile, because he has a strong personality, and because if he has to make and take strong tough decisions, he does so. You have just to ask him Valencia.
He does tick, as you point out, Jamie. By the way, for the uninitiated, Jamie Easton, our Spanish football correspondent based in Barcelona and follows the club very closely. But you get the sense that because Jose Bartomeu seems to be taking, or at least publicly, no responsibility for what's going on around Barcelona at the moment, that any appointment made by Bartomeu was going to come with some questions. For example, the elections have been moved up slightly by a handful of months to March 15th. So Ronald Koeman knows he's stepping into a very volatile situation where he will have a different president midway through next season. Could that be a concern for the Dutchman, that there isn't really a long-term project because Eric Abidal is out? He was there after 2 seasons. Pep Segura was his predecessor. He lasted 2 seasons. Roberto Fernandez was there, 3 seasons before that? So there isn't really a long-term project at the moment, is there?
Well, everybody has to understand, including Ronald Koeman, that this is a one-season project because the elections, the presidential elections at Barcelona will be on March, and that means that the new board and the new president will effectively become part of the club the 1st of July. This is how Barcelona works. This is how it has been regulated. So Bartomeu and his entire board have 1 entire season more in power. Ronald Koeman knows that. We'll know in just a few minutes or a few hours how they explain that contract with Ronald Koeman. But for example, the last contract they explained, Setien signed his contract for 3 seasons, and Barcelona made very clear that only 2 seasons were assured because the new president, every time there's a new president in Barcelona, he can choose whoever he believes is better for the job. So Ronald Koeman knows and understands the circumstance, but Bartomeu will be the president until the 30th of June of next year.
Yeah, worth noting that for those Barcelona elections, for every Barcelona elections, typically the candidates come in promising either a big-name coach or a new project or some big-name player. And so it may very well be the case that whichever president is elected will have sort of his idea of who his manager is going to be. Let's talk a little bit about Eric Abidal, though, because he was, I think, remains in the hearts and minds of fans, a beloved figure. But how do we judge his tenure as Barcelona sporting director?
What has happened to start with Eric Abidal's situation is just unbelievable, because yesterday there was the press release from Barcelona assuring on that press release literally that the future of the team, the reconstruction of the team, will have to be made with the current sports director, and that was yesterday Eric Abidal, and the new coach, Ronald Koeman. Well, today Abidal has agreed to let go and to move from Barcelona. According to some sources, it has even been Eric Abidal who has asked the club to leave. That has not been confirmed by the club yet, but it has been an agreement between club and sports director to just split up, because Abidal, it seems like he's fed up too, like Leo Messi, of everything that has been said. But Eric Abidal arrived in Barcelona just to put some peace between the board and between the players. Did you remember how Bartomeu wanted Carles Puyol to be that figure and Puyol said no? Well, the solution was Eric Abidal, who was Laporta's candidate, by the way, and he had to provide that good relationship with the dressing room. Well, Since Abidal arrived, everything has even gone worse, and we've seen and read what Leo Messi had to say throughout the season.
And let's spare a few words, Jamie, for the outgoing manager, Setien, who with everything else going on is almost a bit of the forgotten man here, because I thought it was quite remarkable to read the official statement from Barcelona regarding Setien, because it didn't even fulfill the minimum that you'd expect for a departing manager. Typically, the club would thank him for his work. That was not the case with Setien, who was there for a little over 5 months, I believe, who finishes the season essentially with 15 first-team players. We know what sort of uproar the way they went about getting rid of Valverde caused. Obviously, there won't be the same sort of crying out for Setien going out, but there seems to be a pattern now with this Barcelona board, almost a sign of disrespect for the outgoing manager.
Well, I have to confirm you something. There's a huge disappointment inside the club, especially with President Bartomeu, around Setien's figure, because they signed him to change everything when Barcelona were leading La Liga, and everybody was noticing some things were missing in that Barcelona. Despite having won 2 consecutive league titles with Ernesto Valverde, there were some senses of something missing or happening, and everybody inside the board believed, because that's how Abidal presented everything, Setien would change that. More dynamism in the training sessions, more hard work, and even different systems, putting the youngsters, whoever is better will have to play, and in the end, Setien started with strong ideas, with playing with 3 defenders and everybody pressuring up front, but that lasted 2 or 3 games. Then he realized that his players in Barcelona weren't capable to do what he wanted to do, and he betrayed himself. He just did exactly the same Valverde did.
Right.
It was maybe a smart decision, but he had to do that, playing again with a 4-4-2 and not asking players what he promised he would ask, and that's why there's huge disappointment, and probably that's why the official statement said that.